Shannon Harris here with Destination Jackpot, back with our very special guests, JT and Katie Ginter, otherwise known as the digital nomads that are traveling all over. You're visiting on all the places that I want to go. So we're going to help our viewers figure out how to do that if that is your goal. But if it's not your goal, we're going to help you figure out how to maximize your credit card points.
If you aren't willing to dive kind of deep into the numbers, well, Citi cards might not be the best cards for you because they have very niche loyalty programs that you need to know how to get value out of.
If you go spend, let's say, $1,500 on a new computer and you get 5% back, is that computer going to be less at Amazon or Best Buy? I mean, I guess you need to compare that, but it's definitely a strategy.
So yeah, if you are buying electronics, like my Fitbit, things like that, that tend to break frequently or that may break frequently or just outside of the warranty, it could be worth having a card that has extended warranty benefits or purchase protection.
So the last little thing, and I think we've covered some of this, but I want to talk about the next scenario is business owners and perks and how to maximize those points. Because I feel like a lot of business owners I talk to really do that, but a lot don't.
This is going to kind of boil back to what we've talked about so far about what are your goals? Katie mentioned her mom has a small business. They didn't want to pay an annual fee, even though it might be better, overall. And they really liked Capital One. Capital One was there for them way back when, decades ago, when they were, not as financially secure as they are now. And so they wanted a Capital One card, no annual fee. And so, for them, even though there was better ones, for them to get, we were helping them, achieve their goals of getting the cash back on this. So, it's really trying to figure out what your goals are there. Do you want cash back? What kind of purchases do you make? So business cards, there's a lot of business cards that will reward really big purchases. There's a Chase one, the Chase Premier card, which is a cashback card that earns higher percentage of cash back if you make a large purchase. I forget what the cutoff is right now. There's the Amex Business Platinum that rewards you more points if you make a large purchase. I think that's $5,000 or more. So it really depends on your business profile. How big of those purchases are you making? Are you buying huge amount of supplies that you're then selling over a year? Well, you might want to have one of these cards that rewards you for larger purchases. Or if you're doing a bunch of smaller purchases, you might want to have a card that rewards everyday spend.
Yeah, and the benefits are also worth thinking about. So if you have a bunch of employees that you want to get authorized user cards for, a lot of business cards will give you those authorized user cards for free. So make sure that you're finding cards that offer that benefit if that's useful for you.
Right.
The Southwest, I forget which Southwest card it is, but one of the business cards actually lets you transfer points to your employees. So say they're going to go on a trip, and anyone can transfer Southwest points to anyone else. There's a fee involved. And one of the benefits on one of the Southwest ones, one of them, maybe both of them, is that they'll reimburse that fee. So you can transfer, 30,000 points to your employee. It's a 5-year anniversary, and they're going to go somewhere. You can transfer points to them, and there's no fee for doing so. So there's some cool perks like that if you have employees. I was thinking the Hyatt card also gives elite status to up to 5 employees. So look at those perks if you have employees.
So I think that's also something to talk about with business cards is you can use it to save money in your business or to get that money back, that cash back. But there's a big strategy there if you have a business, like we have a business and we do a significant amount of money every month. But also I've noticed some things like if you're advertising on social media, there's some that give a lot more points on that. I've seen that one come up more. And then also like paying your cell phone bill. Well, our cell phone bills for our business is pretty significant. If you're getting, 4 or 5 times back or 3 to 5 times back on that's kind of a significant amount. So there's ways to save money in your business, but then there are also ways that you can use that to award or reward your employees or give benefits, or we do a employee function every year. We get together and I can maybe figure out a way to pay for some of that by doing some of this employee spend. So I think there's some good tips there. I just don't want to forget our business people, whether it's a small business or it's a big business that's doing, a lot of spend through there, because you can really save a lot of money.
A lot of these card issuers want you to spend money on their cards. Like they're incentivizing more and more. There's these rollouts of on IHG credit cards, and some of them if you spend 40,000 in a calendar year, you get their top tier status. Like they give it to you for making that many purchases. With Hyatt, it's for every, depending on the personal card versus the business card, there's spending thresholds where you earn elite status nights towards getting status. So a lot of these cards, like if you're making big purchases, think kind of holistically. I mean, again, cash back might be the best thing for your business. Just, cash is king. There's a reason that's a saying.
Right.
But like if you're looking to leverage your spend for like travel rewards, don't just think about the points that you'll earn, because there are these other spending threshold bonuses.
So maybe next time when we come back, we'll talk about some of those different categories, or like a Hyatt, and maximizing, because we do not work any hotel chains at this point. So that is something I'm interested in. And as a business owner, we could do that. I hear y'all talk at the conferences about the globalist. Like, I want to be a globalist. I don't even know why, because it sounds cool, right? I don't even know if I'm used to it. But you get some good suites like what you're in right now. So that's a pretty good perk. Tell us about
It is.
got 2 stories, and how did you do this
Yeah.
trip you're at? How did you get this room?
Yeah, so we booked this through Hyatt. It's a JDB, which is one of the Hyatt brands. And it's a category 1. So on off-peak nights, it's going to cost 3,500 points per night. So we booked that for 5 nights. And then as a globalist, on the way towards globalist, I earned suite upgrade awards. So I applied one of those to this stay. So pretty much at booking, I redeemed the points that I would need for a standard room, but got booked into a suite. So it's a nice little perk.
Bet, especially when you've been on the road, you can just really, for so long, as many months as y'all have, to really be able to just spread out and breathe. It's probably very nice. So
It is.
Yeah.
It's really nice to have this much space to just feel not like claustrophobic. We've been in some of those rooms, especially some European rooms are very small,
yeah,
very claustrophobic.
I've definitely heard that. I have not traveled internationally like that. I'm going to. Next year is my year. Okay, well, let's wrap it up with some final questions and highlights. Any 0% mentions, or any credit card mentions that that you can think of that we want to highlight for this
Those
time?
are Yeah, that's where I think we're have to link out to something, because those are changing all the time, depending on what card issuers. Some of them really want to bring people in the door. They know they can bring a lot of people in the door with those type of offers. So that's one of those things that just changes constantly. But right now there are ones where it's 18 months of 0% interest on purchases. There's some that are 12, 15 months on balance transfers. But the catch with the balance transfers is that there's still typically a fee. So if you're transferring your balance, you want to make sure that like paying that fee is going to be worth that 0% interest for that long. There might be a strategy where you keep those expenses on a card and open up a new 0% APR for purchases, put all your purchases on that card while you put all of your cash towards your existing balance. And that might actually be less. Even if you're paying interest, it might be less interest than the fee that you were having to pay to balance transfer. Yeah, so it's worth thinking through all those different strategies. I know there's some people that are happy to transfer to balance just to have another 12 months and not have to worry about that. But a lot of these, like, be very careful if you're doing that to be able to pay it off at the end in some way, even if that's transferring it to another one, because the APRs on those are generally very high once the 0% is over.
Very high. That's right. You want to make sure you time it so that you pay it off before that date, or you get hit with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Any other good sign-up bonuses you can highlight? You want to highlight?
Well, everyone in our field has been very excited about the 100K Chase Sapphire Reserve or preferred bonus right now.
Big
It's
deal.
It's a very, very good offer. So definitely if you don't have the Sapphire Preferred, now is definitely a good time to sign up. And
Does it
you can
come
always
around?
sign up through one of through one of our sites. Help us
Yes.
out.
Okay, there you go. And it doesn't come out that often. So that's the thing, is that it doesn't come out that often. And unfortunately, I literally, Mike and I both got the Chase e-card the day before this drop.
Oh,
Like, because you can't get
yeah.
it. We just got approved for a Chase card. So it was like, oh darn, we missed that. But oh
Yeah.
well. Hopefully we tell enough people that they go out and get that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, to touch on that, it doesn't help in your situation, but I had a friend who texted me this morning. He was like, I just got the Chase Sapphire Preferred with the old 60,000 offer. If you're in that situation, you're not out of luck. Chase is generally pretty good about matching offers if you have not already earned the bonus. And it's especially good in this case. The old offer was 60,000 if you spend 4,000. Now it's 100,000 if you spend 5,000. So because the spending is actually different, I haven't seen any reports yet because this offer just dropped. But Chase will generally honor the higher offer if you message them. So the best way of doing that is not to call, is to actually send them a direct message through Chase, like through the portal that they have. Send them a message and just say, hey, I just signed up for this. I see this better offer. Can I get matched to this offer? And generally, Chase will
That's
do
good.
that.
That's a good, but
Yeah.
American Express does not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we had an offer for American Express and I literally redeemed it. It was on the phone with the agent and I got a better offer. Like at the
uh,
I was just on the phone with the agent doing it. She said, "Here, I'll create a ticket. You upload the picture
yeah.
and it had time, date, stamp, and everything. They wouldn't give me those 30 more thousand points."
Oh, that's not insignificant either.
I know,
Uh,
I know. So if you're not in a hurry to get cards, it is good to wait. And we will be highlighting at the end of our videos each time that we meet every couple of months. Some of these perks are good ones that are out there at the time. And those
yeah.
are a few.
On that note, so the Chase Sapphire Preferred 100K offer is great. Hopefully, it'll stick around for a while. On Award Wallet, we had to fight really hard to be able to publish this, but we have a full history of all the card offers, all the bonuses that have happened over the last few years. So we know that this is the best offer since 2021. And we saw last time they ran that offer for about 4 months. There's no guarantees that they'll do that this time because a lot of these card issuers will have only so many points that they can give away. And so, like, if they have a lot of interest in it, they might shut it down after 2 months.
Okay.
So there's no guarantee, but like in case you're kind of curious, what is a good bonus? We have all of that history on Award Wallet. We have that for Chase, Citi, Amex, I think, and Capital One. So if you're looking for that, just look at Award Wallet, card offer history, and the bank you're looking for. We have all that history in there. If you're trying to figure out if it's a good bonus or not.
Okay.
Some other good bonuses that are happening right now is the Capital One Venture Card. So
Okay.
Capital One Venture Card just generally will offer 75,000 points. That's like their typical offer. But this time, right now, and we don't know how long it's going to go, but they're offering another $250 statement credit for a purchase or travel credit for a purchase made through the portal. So they've just sweetened that much more. So that's a good card offer right now. And then United just relaunched, redid all of their cards. I don't know if you saw that
I
news.
did not see the news.
Yeah. So they redid them all with different benefits, generally higher fees. But what they are doing as part of this launch is they're doing much higher bonuses than normal on the United cards to celebrate this complete revamp of the cards. It does mean like the Explorer card, which used to be like a $95 annual fee, is now $150. But they've added like a monthly rideshare benefit. They've added a bunch of different credits onto it. So if it makes sense for you, at least for the first year, United cards are giving a stronger bonus right now.
Yeah, I love our Chase United miles card, the one that you get the 2 free bags per person that's traveling with
Yeah.
you. Mike and I both get it, and the lounge.
Yeah.
I mean, we love that card. That's my favorite card. But I
Yeah.
noticed our fee went up quite a bit.
Thankfully, it won't hit for a while.
Right.
For existing cardholders, they're delaying the implementation of that. So, like the first anniversary that you have after the cutoff, which I think is August, it will be when they increase the fee. For everyone who's applying new, they're going to be paying the higher annual fee right away. But again,
But
they're giving
that's
much higher
right.
offers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So for us, we use that ride share. I wonder if we get that perk yet. Do you think as
you
existing?
do.
Oh, nice. I need to
Yeah,
look at that
yeah,
then. So if you have a United card, go in there and look at those perks, for
yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
So someone told me about the Southwest partner card that there was a special going. Do y'all know anything about that or how that works or how to maximize that?
One just ended.
Oh,
So, yeah.
darn.
So a few days before we're recording, there was a Chase Southwest card offer. It was only like 30,000 points, which wasn't very much. They gave you a companion pass for until February of 2026. So it was less than a year, but it is a companion pass. So buy one, get one free travel. So that just ended. But really, you can earn the Southwest companion pass through credit cards by signing up for a business card and a personal card. That generally will give you enough points to get the companion pass. And then it's good all of the year that you earn it, plus the entire next calendar year. So
So
you
that's
get it for a long.
maybe.
Yeah.
Do. Okay. Well, I'll still look at that since our daughter's moving
Yeah.
for that direction. That would be good for sure. Okay. Real quick, I want to just touch on a reconsideration call. So if you
Mhm.
apply for some of these credit cards, talk to us just quickly about the reconsideration call and how to handle that.
So you're more of an expert than you want to be about that.
Yeah, so when you apply for a card online, there'll usually be one of three responses. You're either going to get approved, rejected, or pending. If you fall into either pending or rejected, you can pretty much look up, just Google the reconsideration lines and you'll find the number online. Make sure it's a good source because you don't want to accidentally be calling.
Someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure it's about like legitimate source that you're finding the number on. But yeah, give them a call. You'll usually need to provide like an application number or something. So like make sure you look at the screen that you got that went to pending, or rejected. And yeah, just call them. You'll need to pretty much explain usually why you want the card. You may need to provide some additional information. In the case of some cards, especially if you already have other cards with the issuer, you may need to, say, move some of your credit line from another card to open the new card. So, like if you're opening a new Chase Sapphire Preferred, you might need to move some of your credit line from an IHG card, say, to
Oh,
open the new account.
I'll jump in on that. So most card issuers will only give you so much credit, like a extended credit line. And so if you already have several cards with a card issuer, they might not want to give you any more credit. But if they've already extended you credit, Barclays, we had that the other day where we have a card that's like 30,000. We don't need that on that card. And so it's like, oh, well, you reduce the credit limit on this existing card in order to open up this card. So yeah, definitely like consider that, especially if they the response is that they don't want to extend you any more credits. Talk about moving credit lines around.
Very
Yeah,
good.
so pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just having a discussion with the person on the line. Obviously, they're incentivized to try and find a way for you to open the account. So like yeah, if you answer their
Right.
questions to satisfaction. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Don't be afraid. Get in there and ask them. Okay. That's a
exactly.
good tip because I would never have thought to do that. Okay. And can we kind of quickly highlight just real quick the 524? You hear that if you look at the points guy, which is TPG that they keep referring to, or any really credit card site, you're going to hear somewhere at some point the 524, 524. So that this applies to Chase. And y'all want to talk to us a little bit about that real quick?
All right, so Chase 524 says that Chase will not approve you for a new Chase credit card if you have opened five or more credit cards that are on your personal credit profile in the past 24 months. So there's a bunch that goes into that statement because five credit cards, you could have opened 10 credit cards, but there might only be four on your statement if six of those were business cards. So it's how many new cards have you opened in the last 24 months with any card issuer that hits your personal credit profile.
Any card issuer.
Any card issuer,
Card
yes. So
issuer goes on your personal account. Got it.
yes. Yeah, so if you opened up, a Southwest card, you opened up a Saks, Fifth Avenue card because you were trying to get 5% off a purchase, and you opened up a Citi card. And so any of those will count. And so that's why, especially people who are starting off, we want to say, pump the brakes. Like, it's very appealing to go sign up for a ton of different cards, and get a bunch of bonuses, but you might want to be a little strategic about prioritizing Chase ones first. I would not have people get hung up about Chase 524, because there are a lot of bonuses that you can get even if you're over 524. So there's some people that are like, oh, I'm over 524. I'm just not going to apply anything for the next year. It's like, well, you could be earning a lot of points over that year through other card issuers. I wouldn't let the 524 tail wag the dog, but it is an important aspect, especially if you're starting out, as to know whether or not you're going to be locked out of that. And all card issuers have some sort of restrictions. Again, to plug Award Wallet, we have a great guide that spells out all of the card issuer restrictions. Capital One, you can't apply for more than one card every 6 months. If you apply for a second one, you're just going to be automatically rejected. So if you don't know these types of rules, you might get rejected just and not know why. So by knowing these rules, you can really plan your applications and your
So go
strategy.
check that out on Award Wallet and look for the card restrictions when applying for credit
Yes.
cards under that, because that's important as well. And I think these tips are important, especially if you're getting new cards. You want to know what to expect. So just to clarify that, so when Mike and I opened these 3 cards the other day, they were all business cards. None of them go on our credit. So those don't go towards our 524. And we knew that going into that. The other point I want to mention, because didn't know this, because I really do see a lot of value for us in the American Express Platinum card. But after speaking with y'all last time, you said don't get that card yet until you've gotten the blue and or the green and the gold first, because then you can't get the American Express Platinum. Is that right?
Yeah, so Amex has been rolling these family restrictions out, and so that's where it can really play into like the application strategy. The one I know offhand is Delta. Delta, if you get the top level Delta Reserve card, that's the one that's the equivalent of the one you have with United, where it gives you lounge access and all that. If you sign up for the Reserve first, you lock yourself out of any other bonuses on Delta cards, because the application rules for the Delta Gold say if you've ever had a Delta Gold, Platinum, or Reserve, you can't earn the bonus on this one. So it's a very weird restriction, and hopefully they'll drop it. But for now, this is part of the restrictions. This is one of those we include in that guide that we have. But yeah, look at the restrictions to see.
That guide. Go look at the
Yeah.
guide for Wallet before you start applying for credit cards to make sure that it aligns with your goals that you want to do. I think those are very, very important. Quick questions before we finish up. Is it okay to
Yeah.
sit on your points?
Depends. Where are they sitting? Which account are they sitting in? Like
Well,
Amex, Chase?
so talk to us about where it's good to sit on, where it's
Yeah.
not, where it's not.
Yeah, so generally, if you have transferable points, so like the Chase Ultimate Rewards, the Amex membership rewards, those are generally okay to sit on, especially if you have a trip, say next year, where you want to go to Greece, and you have kind of an idea of how you want to use those points. Obviously, I don't recommend sitting on millions of
Yeah.
any of those currencies, but having a decent chunk to save up for a future trip is fine. The reason is because you have so many different programs you can transfer them to. So if one program maybe leaves and isn't a transfer partner anymore, or really devalues their rewards, you still have so many other options that are still going to provide you a lot of value. That being said, if you have, say, Delta miles that you're sitting on, I mean, you want to have some so that you can book awards, but I wouldn't recommend sitting on millions of Delta miles because, I mean, they're probably going to get less and less valuable over the years. Same for any currency, not to pick on Delta, same for United miles, same for American miles.
I'll say Southwest. Southwest forever had very stable points because it was based on the actual fare of the flight. It was a direct connection with how many points it cost, and they would tweak it year after year. They would devalue by like 4%. There wasn't major devaluations. Then bang, overnight, just last month, they completely changed how redemptions work. And now, rather than Southwest points being worth about 1.4, 1.5 cents, they're now 1.1, 1.2 cents. So you've had a huge cut to the value. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we've earned Southwest points. We've been trying to burn Southwest credits that we've earned, saving the points. And we had like 200,000 Southwest points that just got like 20% less valuable overnight. And like we weren't intentionally hoarding Southwest points, but that was a reminder. Even a program that is very stable and is generally holds its value, that can change overnight.
Okay,
So
very, very important to know. So you're not real pro Southwest maybe right this minute.
not their current management, no. So
Not yet.
I would love the old Southwest, but like this activist investor has come in and is really ruining what makes Southwest such a great. I mean, love them or hate them, and the cattle call boarding and all that. It's like it is what it is. Like Southwest was true to its spirit. It's like you knew what you're getting yourself into when you booked a Southwest flight, and we would do that. We would book Southwest flights often when we were traveling in the States because they would have direct connection from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Denver that wasn't Delta and cost $500 one way.
Right.
So like Southwest is a very useful from a routing standpoint, and it had a very solid loyalty program, and overnight they've really taken an axe to it. So it's really unfortunate what they're doing. They're just losing what I think is their competitive advantage. I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah, no, I think that's important information to know.
Yeah,
So maybe I don't want to look at Southwest Companion. No, I will. I think it's the value for us possibly.
yeah.
I'll look at it. Although we buy plenty for the way we work our miles. So I do have one little tip that I found that really came in handy for us. I think since we talked last is I figured out for us on United that it doesn't cost me any more money when I'm booking with points to book one way. And this came in super handy for us back in February. We were flying January, February, whenever we were flying to Biloxi, Mississippi, and a really bad storm came in. We were stuck in the airport for literally 12 hours. We'd already checked our bags. They were sitting on the plane. And finally at 1 a.m. or whatever it was, they 11, 12, whatever it was, they called the flight after being there for 12 hours. We only live 45 minutes from the airport. Mike's like, screw this. We're going home and we'll come back
Yeah.
tomorrow and pick up our bags. Well,
Yeah.
because I had booked those separate one-way tickets, so I booked one way to Biloxi, one way home from Biloxi, I was able to go in and cancel that on the phone, cancel that flight, the first flight, do a bag retrieval. So we went back the next morning, rented a car, picked up our bags, which was a nightmare. Put air tags in your bags. That's a big point. Put air tags in your luggage because there is something to be said for that whenever you get in this situation, being able to track your luggage with an air tag. So we didn't have that at that time either. So I learned, but cancel. Oh, it was awful because there were so many. I mean, huge
Yep.
storms everywhere, and there were thousands of bags. And it's like,
Yep.
go find yours. Well, mine was right there, thank God, but so many weren't. So put an air tag in your
Uh,
luggage. So we were able to retrieve our luggage, get our rental car, drive to Biloxi because by that time there were no more flights that were going out because of all the delays until the next day. And then we were able to
Yeah.
take a return flight home. And it was
Mhm.
much cheaper and saved us time. And we were able to get out for that short trip. So I thought that was valuable. Like you said,
Absolutely.
some it is cheaper if you do the round trip. So be sure to check that. But
Rarely. Yeah.
rarely, yeah. You
Yeah.
can just
So the Emirates example is one where it's cheaper. Sometimes American Airlines discounts round trip, but that's a great point. That's a point that I don't think people realize is booking one ways is almost always better. There are sometimes, I mean, Alaska Miles, if you're booking with a partner, you might have to pay, they have a partner booking fee. You might have to pay that twice if you do two one ways, but generally, definitely look into booking one ways for each time because you never know what comes up. And we've had readers who've booked a round trip to Europe and they, in business class, they spend all these points and then, oh no, there's a family emergency. They're trying to get on the next flight home. They just want their miles back for that return flight. Well, tough luck. Like the
That's
airlines,
right.
if you book round trip, you're out of luck on that.
Yep.
That's yeah.
And the same thing when you're booking for family. We booked for our son, and then something happened and he had to switch his flight at the last minute, and I had done a round trip. Well, they would
Uh,
not give me, wouldn't give me anything back for the rest of that trip that we weren't able to complete,
yeah.
um, which was unfortunate. So yeah, book those one ways when you can. Be sure to check those. Editor in
Um,
chief
uh,
for Award Wallet. Tell us what you do and what you love about Award Wallet.
Yeah, so I have been a WordWallet user for over 10 years. So pretty much as long as I've been in the points and miles hobby, I've been part of a WordWallet. A WordWallet has actually been around for 20 years. It's one of the original tools, I feel like, in this space. It started off as a dream of like, okay, so we have all these spreadsheets where we have all of our numbers written down and maybe passwords in a file for like how to log into Amex, into our American Airlines accounts. What if we just had like a centralized place where we had all of our usernames, passwords, and then account balances all in one place? And so it started off with a dream of building just that, and it's expanded to so much more. So right now, Award Wallet is it's a free tool. You can upgrade to a pro version to unlock even more benefits. But it's a free tool that helps you keep track of your points and miles balances, expiration dates, as well as any other expiration dates, say like upgrades that you may have or credits you may have. You can track all of that through Award Wallet. So the main tool, the main thing that Award Wallet helps with is tracking your balances and your expiration date.
Okay.
But there's so much more than that that we'll dive
Right.
into. Yeah, so Lexi what is one of the co-founders, and he's the full-time owner of it. His drive is to just make this best tool that's possible for tracking your points and miles, rewards, and how to use them. So we built all of these different tools that just help people use it.
Okay, let's take it away. You want to share your screen and show us how this works?
Yeah. I actually track between Katie and I over 100 accounts through Award Wallet. Award Wallet will actually track. I don't know if there's actually a limit on how many accounts that you can have tracked, but we actually work with tracking over 600 different loyalty programs that you
Wow.
can add. Everything from American Express and Marriott, some of the most commonly used, all the way down to I think Zappos Rewards is one of the ones that we help people track. So if you have a loyalty program, we probably help track it. And if we don't help track it, there's a way of requesting it. So if there's a program that you'd really like to see us help you track, let us know and we will try to add it to the roadmap. So yeah, this is my actual dashboard, and so it will show like that I have 7 unconfirmed changes. So I have a plus account. This is the premium account. So it's constantly monitoring in the background. It's logging in on my behalf to loyalty programs and looking for differences. It's pulling in trips that I booked all into this one place. So we're helping you not just track your points and miles balances now. We also will help you keep track of your travels. And I would really love to show a timeline, but literally under this trip section, this will show you an actual trip timeline. I'm old enough that I remember when I go on family trips with my mom and dad, and they would have the written out. Here's our itinerary for the trip. Hey, we have to check in for this flight at this time. We have this. This is the booking reference. We're going to this hotel. Here's the booking reference for that. Maybe put it on this credit card or whatever. All of that is now taken care of through Award Wallet automatically. So as
Nice.
soon as I book a flight, it's immediately pulled into my travel timeline. And so not only will it show your upcoming trips, I actually have this up here. It can help you keep track of where you've been. So
Nice.
this is my actual historic travel summary based off of the trips I've actually taken this year. I've been mostly in Europe this year. So like you can see in Vienna, I stayed at the Lindner Hotel. in Vienna, and so it kept track of that the 4 nights that I spent there, and I can see this. This is easier looking back and looking forward because that's all the actual booking references that I don't want to share publicly. But
Right.
this would help you keep track of where you've been. Yeah,
Very cool.
there's
That's
all sorts
really
of
neat.
travel stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not just flights and hotels. You can actually keep track of restaurant reservations, buses, ferries. One really fun thing that it tracked was my wife and I have an RV that we use when we're in the US. We're digital nomads, travel internationally most of the time, but we have a recreational vehicle that will book campsites and it'll show up through Award Wallet as well. It actually keeps track of campsite reservations.
Through your email, it does that, or how does it do that?
Yeah, so the easiest way to do it is to authorize Award Wallet to scan your emails. And that's
Okay.
just purely a script of saying like, hey, received an email from Delta, pull the booking reference, pull the departure date, arrival date, all that sort of stuff. It dumps it in there. We don't keep anyone's emails. It's just a scan of anything comes in from particular providers. That's the easiest way, and that's the thing I do just from purely a simplicity.
Yeah.
But you can also, yeah, you can also manually forward. There's an email address. I don't know if it's the top of this one. There's an email address at the top of everyone's user profile on the actual booking one.
Right.
But there's an actual email address that you can email. It's a dedicated email address for you at Award Wallet where you can just forward all of your confirmations. And that way you can know exactly what you're sharing if you don't feel comfortable authorizing us to scan through the emails.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it comes up with all of this information. One of the really cool things that I love pointing out is that you have this country count, so you can see how many nights I spent in different countries. But say you're applying for a global entry and you have to say where you've been the last 10 years. I think it's 5 years actually. You can pull up if you have all of your if you're tracking all your travels through Award Wallet. Not only will it show you all the flights and hotels you've been on the last 5 years, but you can actually dump out what countries you've been to with the dates that you were in them. So whether it's a visa application or global entry, anytime you need to know your travel history, you can actually export it to I think it's a CSV Excel file that
Right.
you'll export out that can make it really easy for those type of uses.
That's
And
really
it
cool.
also is fun that you can track how many miles you've flown, how many
Oh, yeah.
how many hotels you've been at. As you see, I'm a frequent flyer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You travel a little bit. A little bit. We all hope to be
A
there
little
one day.
bit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
61 nights.
Yeah, so that's the this is the trip again. If I clicked on this trip, so it would show all of my upcoming trips, which I don't want to unveil, understandably, but
Right.
it helps you just keep track of all of it in just one place. It's super useful. This is something that's available even to free users. This is just a functionality that we're happy to help people out. And you see that we actually went through Bermuda on a Carnival cruise right about this time last year.
Oh,
It keeps track of all the different types of travel that you may be doing.
oh, I
So
love
really,
that.
really cool functionality here.
That's really cool.
But yeah, to get to some of the other niche tools that we have, that we do this really again, it's just a passion for us. We have point and mile values. So we have a lot of people booking a lot of trips through Award Wallet. We have this wealth of information on how much points and miles are actually worth because people are actually using their points and miles and we're helping them track these trips. So so at Amex, we have 57,000 bookings that Award Wallet users have booked using their Amex points by transferring that out to a partner and then redeeming them. So we can say, in recent bookings, actually, Amex points are providing 1.95 cents of value. But again, if you're doing short haul economy flights, you're only getting 1.19. So that might be more realistic of what you might be seeing out of your points if you're transferring to JetBlue or to one of the partners for just a short haul economy flight. You might not be getting that much value out of it. And that's why we include this detail. 1.95 is a really great value, and that sounds really good. But that's
Yes.
because business class is really where you can earn a lot more value out of your points. So
So if
this is we
it's correctly, then if I'm looking just at kind of economy or premium economy, then that's where you can go into that third column and kind of look straight down that and see, okay, well, in this glance, maybe the Wells Fargo might be a better value.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. So 1.76 in that case, and that's just based off of the partners that are available. As you see, Wells Fargo actually has a really high value. That's because, well, the Wells Fargo card holders that we have that are Ward Wallet users are really savvy with their points. I
Okay.
wouldn't even say that 2.7 is a realistic. It is actual. This is based on actual bookings, and so yeah, I mean, it's 17,000 bookings, and they've really maximized their points. So that's one of the things that differentiates our values from other values that are published by other publications. Those might be more what you could expect to see. This is what people have actually used those points for. So
Actually,
again, Capital One might be 2 cents each, but again, economy, you might not even get a cent for a domestic economy. So as you said, yeah, looking down the column of kind of like what are the programs where there might be that outsized value.
can we look at those airline miles?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we track it's a few dozen of them, and again, this is based off of actual bookings, and we actually have one in here. So Malaysia, this is one that I manually added. My wife and I flew Malaysia Airlines on a status run. It was a crazy thing where we flew 27, 26 flights in a matter of like 3 weeks all
Oh,
around Malaysia and Indonesia. It was really fun actually. But we had miles, and we don't. Wordwall doesn't track Malaysia miles value, so I manually added this. So you're able to do that if you want, but the rest of these are calculated based off of what actual bookings are. Some of these are just manually set by a Ward wallet because we don't have enough data points for that. But you can see like Alaska miles, pretty darn valuable. Aer Lingus ones, again, very valuable, but there's just not that many bookings that we're tracking. So don't get thrown off by the value being so high. But this is a way of like seeing where programs might be able to provide more value to you.
let's see. I want to check out United because that's the one we fly.
Yeah. Yeah, United is 1.91, which is strong based off almost 35,000 bookings. And again, this is also backward looking. So these are the bookings that have happened in the past, what people have actually used their miles for. It's not exactly forward looking because these programs can change their redemption rates and all that. So some things might,
Southwest
yeah.
probably isn't that high anymore. Um,
Exactly, exactly. So this is what it was for a while was 1.52, which is definitely on the higher end of what you could expect. It was really 1.4 to 1.5. Again, our Ward Wallet users are really good at maximizing the value of their points. So their values that might be a little higher than what you might see. But yeah, this is realistically now more like 1.2 cents.
okay, very interesting data. And then you got hotel points and bank award rewards.
Yeah, so there's so much data in here. Hotel points, since there's not as many hotel programs, we decided to have fun with breaking out how much value you get by the brand. So Alila is a Hyatt brand. Where there's a lot of like niche properties that are really valuable. There's literally over 3.3 cents of value on average for Alila that have been used um, by WordWallet users, but Thompson is actually the worst. So lots of data in here. Use it as you wish, but yeah, we wanted to have this as a way of helping people figure out how to get the most value out of their points.
That's really cool. So to find this, how do they go to that? Just go to awardwallet.com and then points and
Yeah,
miles.
so this, yeah, it's slash point dash mile dash values under tools, point and mile values.
Okay. Or bookmark it so you can get to it quickly.
Yeah, exactly. As you can see, it's a blue star. I have it bookmarked because I use this personally a lot.
Well, that's the best way to be able to talk about it and know what needs to enhance it or to share it with your users, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. We talked about, but we really want to get you in Emirates business class. It is super blingy. So we talked about how the points that transfer to Emirates.
Right.
So if you're looking at like, hey, I found a great sweet spot using Emirates, or maybe I just need a few more United miles. This mile transfer times is a really useful tool. We track over 500 different partnerships between banks and airlines, banks and hotels, hotels and airlines. All of these different partnerships we track, and not just do we track that they exist and what the transfer ratio is, we track transfer bonuses. Right now, as we're recording, you can transfer Amex membership reward points from the US to Aeromexico with a 20% bonus. And so clicking on that link will bring up our article that we have on that
Oh,
and
that's
when that
neat.
might be useful. Yeah, so we not only just tell you that it exists, but also how to use it.
Very cool. That's very handy.
Yeah. So also it will show the average time that it takes to transfer. So
Okay.
Amex to Aeromexico, you can expect your points to hit right away. Some of them might take a day, but Amex to ANA can take a day on average based on the last 14 transactions. And this is where people have actually set up a tracker. We have something called Balance Watch. So if you really, really want to know immediately when your points hit your account, you can set up this balance tracker, and we will stalk your account for you to let you know exactly when it shows up. The catch is people only want to do that when it's not immediate. So we have sometimes it will make it seem like it transfers longer than it might. So like Amex Canada to British Airways, we say it's 8 hours on average. Well, it might be immediate most of the time, but the ones that people tracked were the ones that took a little bit longer. So
Oh,
just a grain of salt there.
okay. Very cool. So then now that Emirates, it said immediate and then it said unknown.
Yeah. So you can filter by typing in whatever program you
Oh,
want.
I see what it is. Okay, there's different programs. Got
Yes.
it. Got it. Got it. Got
Well,
it.
and so this is we since we serve members all over the world. I've gone this far into it. Award Wallet has over 800,000 users worldwide. So we have a huge amount of people in the US, but we also have a lot of people in the UK. Brazil is actually a huge market for people who are tracking their points and miles through Award Wallet. So we try to have as much as we can track overseas programs. Our focus is definitely on the US, but where we can, we also will have like the United Kingdom. Amex rewards transferred to Emirates. Actually, it's not a one-to-one ratio there. And then you see here we have a caveat that the points won't be available because there's a notice that it won't be available for those 3 weeks. So lots and lots in here. But like again, so if you're looking at how to get points into a particular program, this transfer times tool is very useful for that.
Okay. Perfect. That's awesome.
We
Okay.
also have purchase times. So if you really need those points right away for like a high value one, and it makes sense for you to buy points. I'm actually a big proponent of buying points and miles strategically. I've bought hundreds of thousands of points over the years because you can sometimes buy them, especially only when they're on sale, and redeem them for more value than you just paid for them. And there's tons of examples that we get into. Like here's Hilton is offering a 90% bonus right now. We get into like all the different examples of when that can actually make sense to buy points and then redeem them right away. So lots of details in all of these blog posts that I can't dive into. I shouldn't dive into all that right now.
Right.
But if you're wondering how long it takes for your points to purchase, in Hilton case, it's about 14 hours. So don't buy it if you need it within the next hour. But yeah, if you're buying something for a high value redemption, that's a good way of finding out how.
That's really cool too. So much.
Yeah,
God.
I know. There's so many tools, and we're just scratching the surface. So you're going to Greece. This is another tool that we have called the Award Hotel Research Tool. All of these are generally under this tools one up here. This is the Award Hotel Research Tool. This looks at individual properties that Award Wallet users have booked and how much value they provided. Again, it's all backward looking, so we do have to like caveat that there might have been a really good deal at a hotel that's no longer available, but it's still a good research tool. So you can actually just type in like Greece if you are looking at going all of Greece. and it'll show you that here's a one in Mykonos, a Marriott property, a luxury collection hotel resort, where the average redemption value, only 6 bookings, but has been almost 2 cents per Marriott point, which is 111% above average. So backward looking, there has been lots of value to be had here. People have booked it on average for just 77,000 points a night, and they've saved over $1,000. So
Wow.
huge value potential there. Again, it might not be
A link right
available like that now.
Yeah,
I'm
to go
sorry.
check it out. You have a link right there. Check availability. Go
Yeah,
check it.
yeah, exactly. And so on the flip side, there are some Marriott properties that only provide 0.6 cents, which is well below average. And so that might not be one that you want to book. So again, this is just for that initial research. If you're just trying to figure out what type of properties might be able to provide good value, especially as you're planning a trip.
That's a great tip. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll use that when I'm doing my homework.
Yeah, this just pulled up the hotel page. So it's actually look at like pricing. You have to like plug in dates and all that.
Yeah.
So it didn't pull up like immediate search results, but that shortcuts the process.
Very cool. Love that.
Yeah. And then we were talking earlier about another competitor of ours that helps you figure out which card to use. Our tool for that is called the Merchant Lookup tool. We also have a credit card spend analysis that's also can help you like maximize your purchases based off research purchases. But this is based off of Award Wallet data. Again, we collect this information from Award Wallet users. Anonymize it all, and then use it to help Award Wallet users. So in this case, if you type in Five Guys, you can see, hey, this is showed up as a dining purchase. I have my cards are set up in here, so a City Prestige is the hands down winner here because this earns 5x points. It's almost 11 cents per dollar based off of the valuations. You can toggle over to all cards, and so you can see like, hey, Wells Fargo Propel earns 3x on restaurants, so that might be a good value. Again, this is all based off of those mile values that we were taking a look at, multiply times the earning rates. And so if you're like, hey, that's
Like
not.
Home Depot.
Was
Can we
that?
check out like Home Depot? Let's check that one out.
Yeah. Yeah. And so sometimes it's easy, like Five Guys. Sometimes okay, so only two. Because they can show up different ways for different card issuers. Sometimes there'll be multiple on here. And so Home Depot in this case, you can see the other detected categories. And so this one is by Amex. So Amex, this is the one, it's home improvement for Amex. So you can see by Amex is merchandise, supplies, hardware, supplies. And so generally it's going to be everyday spend because there's not many that, I don't think there's any that give you a bonus for home improvement.
Okay.
And then here's one that goes under construction materials. And this is also by Amex. This again, here's like the best ones, but they're all just these general spend ones. There's no bonuses, unfortunately. We also have credit cards. This is one of the ways that we help pay the bills as credit cards. If you go under on the Award Wallet one, there's a credit card offers. We built this really cool tool to help people figure out the next card for them. We have all cards. We have the best offers. This is ones where it's like a limited time offer. If you're looking for airline miles or hotel points, we have different sections for that. And say you really want, let's say all cards, say you want to have a consumer card, that's a Chase card that earns Chase Ultimate Reward points. Well, here's your short list of what is currently available and what the bonus is.
Oh,
So it's a great way.
Changer for
Yeah.
a lot of people. So let me pause right here and ask you.
Yeah.
So this would be once you have your account set up and you have your credit cards in there, and then you go to this page. This is going to this credit card page. It's going to take into account the ones you have, and then let you know which ones.
Unfortunately, not yet. That's
Okay.
the next level. Yeah, that's on the roadmap. And we're working on like in the background of like all of the okay, so if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred, okay, you can't get the Reserve because you have the Preferred, and like working on all those rules to try to help people shortcut all that. But that's on the roadmap. We're working on it. So yeah, it's all these ones where if you're looking for cash back, again, say you're
That's
looking for a business card, it's cash back.
a lot of time to go to this right here and look at all the credit cards right from a Ward Wallet, and check out some of the different, compare them really. Cool.
Exactly.
Search it. Yeah.
Exactly. So and it really, and we were talking about the large spend like this one requires $30,000 in order to earn that $2,000 cash back. For some businesses, that's going to be easy. Others, that's going to be impossible. So it really helps you like see in one place what the offers are. So maybe 3,000 in purchases is a lot more achievable. So it's a great tool, and this is again under like credit card offers at the top of the page. So,
Very cool. That's really neat. Okay. Cool. Guys,
and
I
so
hope
we
we're helping you.
yeah, and then most of what we've talked about so far is just the WordWallet product. I want to touch on what I do on the WordWallet blog.
Yes.
So we publish over 40. Right now, we're averaging about 45 posts per week. So we constantly publishing. That's 5 to 7 posts a day that we're publishing on the blog. And so even as we were recording, we were publishing news. My colleague Tyler was working on it. But if it's too much for you to keep track of all of, you go to our homepage. Our blog homepage is wardwallet.com/blog. And this is the news that we just wrote about. And there's Carnival Cruise. We had someone actually at the Carnival media event that they just had over the weekend. Wyndham is running a promotion. Here's that sale that I was mentioning earlier, about 9,000 points or 9,000 miles to fly to overseas destinations. Tons and tons of things that are happening right now. If that's too much to follow daily, we have this weekly digest email that recaps the news. So this is one from 7 days ago. I mentioned about how United overhauled its card portfolio. You would have known about that if you saw if you're part of the digest.
That's right.
Give you a
Yeah.
hard time.
I would do a weekly thing. That would be so helpful for me. And then it has the link you can go right to if you want to read the whole article.
Exactly. So yeah, this is so big that we rounded up the winners and losers of this. And we also have this post that I wrote about all the changes, and it is comprehensive. As I think you mentioned, you have the club card. So like these are all the new benefits that you just got as part of your part of the launch. So there's a lot there.
That's cool. Now, so how do you sign up for that? Show me how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is under notifications. So my profile, we have edit notifications. There's also a link I could drop you that will send this to you. But under new blog post, I actually opt in to get a mobile push through the app every time we publish. That's a lot. That's a lot of notifications. I don't recommend people opting into getting. Yeah,
you can do that weekly recap on mobile.
Yeah, exactly. So it's by email. There is you can get an option to be emailed every single time we publish a post. Again, that's a lot of emails. So I recommend either daily or weekly. And so yeah, there's pretty much tons of ways that you can keep track of what's going on in the WordWallet blog.
Okay, so let me ask you there. If I go to the new blog post and I select weekly, then it's going to give me that recap push to my mobile phone so I can click on it and see that same page that you had up, where then it gives a recap of the week and then I can click on it.
Yeah, so this is actually emailed out every Monday. And so this is the one from.
Will that push to me as a text?
Not yet. We just have it set up as email for now.
Okay.
And so
I would love to see it in text, but I will sign up for that because I think I'm going to get so much value right there and at least stay in the know.
Yeah. Exactly. That is the main reason. This is something we've only been doing for the past few months. We've seen great response because people It's a lot that's going on, and people are very busy. So this is at the top of every single one of these. We come up with what is the thing that the biggest news of the week. So last week it was or week before last it was United overhauling its card portfolio. Southwest launched a variable award pricing. That's where they slashed like the value for a lot of trips. Airplan, which is Air Canada loyalty program. They used to have fixed rates for United flights. Now it's variable. So the awards actually increased by 50%. Lots of bad news that week.
Yeah.
But we also like city card holders get pre-sale access to Lady Gaga tour. The one that we just published this week, Marriott is partnering with Beyonce to give away free tickets to Beyonce concerts. So there's a lot of stuff that we publish about. I try to make this as easily skimmable as possible. Hey, do you care about Southwest? You might want to know that the companion card offers end this week. That was last week, unfortunately. Amazon was running a sale where I rounded up some of my favorite travel items that are available through Amazon. From the backpacks that my wife and I use to the headphones that we use.
Oh,
So
nice.
we have so much stuff that we're publishing right now. So my idea with this is to provide a weekly recap so people don't have to constantly be on our homepage learning what's going on.
I love that. And I would totally be up for it to be text to me. So put that in a queue there, JT.
Yeah, we'll do. And then a nice little Easter egg. I've been including my current location as I travel around the world, as I send out these emails. So this is the one that was just launched 6 hours ago. Or we broke the news last week about JetBlue TrueBlue is you now use your points on Iceland Air, which is a cool new addition. Brightline, the train company, launched a new rewards program. There's so many things that are happening every week, and we wanted to give it all in one place.
Love it. Love that. Yeah. Anybody that has questions on Award Wallet, please drop your comments below. We're going to do a deeper dive into this and show you even more ways that it works and how this can bring value. I'm a real believer in figuring out what those tools are. And you may have more than one tool. You may have an app and then this website and then a Facebook group. But find those tools that help you make this credit card game even easier, for you, because there are so many tools out there. It's just figuring out where they are, the ones that are trusted, and which ones to go to. And I have developed such a great relationship with JT and Katie that I really trust them, and I know that they that have a lot of respect. And I just know that I can go to Award Wallet and I can trust what they're doing, and that I'm always going to be kept up to date. I mean, this is even better than talking to you every day, JT, almost, because I'm getting it not just from you, but I'm getting it from so many other people. I mean, there's no way
Exactly.
you can talk every day and cover this, and you wouldn't have time anyway because you're traveling the world. And neither
Exactly.
would I. Yeah, so this is really cool. This is
Yeah,
like JT in your back pocket. I think we need a
yeah.
slogan. Have JT in your back pocket. Just carry this Award Wallet. I love that.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I
Go ahead.
definitely think so. The travel timeline aspect is very much like a travel concierge.
Yeah.
We barely touched that, but like if you have the Award Wallet app, you can actually when you land, as we did in Stockholm yesterday, I got a push notification. Welcome to Stockholm. Your bags are going to be dropping on Carousel 3. If there's a flight delay, if there's a gate change, all of that can be pushed to your, if you have the Wardwell app, that information will be pushed to you on as a push notification. Oftentimes before the airline will tell you about a delay, a Wardwell will tell you about a delay. So it's a great travel concierge pretty much in your back pocket. The one other cool thing, so if you arrive at an airport and you have a hotel plan, it will actually push a notification saying like, "Hey, you're staying at this hotel. Here's the phone number to call if you need to request a shuttle."
Oh,
So like really, really cool stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, really digs deep into there. So if you have questions, be sure to put them in the comments below because we'll be doing follow-up interviews and stuff with JT and with Katie. So let us know your questions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. It helps the channel out, and we really appreciate it. And hope you're enjoying all these tips on how to travel for less. please follow JT and Award Wallet on.
We do. We don't post on social media as much. That's one thing that we're looking to build, but we do have an Instagram that will share recent stories and tips on that.
Okay, so follow them on Instagram, but be sure to get the free Award Wallet app and set up your account and take advantage of all the free stuff and these very handy tools. Let us know which one is your favorite, and we have more to come. Be sure, everybody, to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us and the channel more than you could know. Be sure to comment down below and ask those questions. So when JT and Katie and I get back together the next time, we can answer some of those. I look forward to building with you guys on these scenarios and helping all of our viewers travel for less. That's what it's all about. Traveling for less and making your money go further, which we all need to do in this time of our life. I mean, no matter where you're at, we all want to make our money further. So let's all do that together. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.